Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of the Biohacked Life podcast. Today I'm here with my guest, my friend, my cousin, Sara Carter, owner of CrossFit Portside in Gulfport. Sara, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited because I don't do CrossFit.
That's true.
As many times as you've tried to get me to do CrossFit, I don't do CrossFit.
You do not, and I have tried multiple times.
All right, I'm slightly hard-headed. I am a D'Angelo. Yep. It's in our blood.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I love starting out the podcast like this. Just a few little softball questions. Today, what is something you're grateful for?
Ooh. I am grateful for my health. I've been sick since about Monday, as you can tell with my voice. But I'm grateful to be getting that. I am very grateful for the members in my community and what they teach me as well as what I teach them. And I'm just grateful to be here with you.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think we're going to be able to help some people today.
Good.
All right. Question number 2.
All right.
You've played athletics your entire life, and music has always, of course, been a theme to athletics. But if you had to have a walkout song for life,
oh man,
what would it be?
Oh man, let's see. Probably for whatever reason, Eye of a Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Why?
It's my jam.
Is it?
Yeah, I think we ran out to that.
So it's got those emotional cues tied to it.
It definitely has the emotional feels to it. So back when I was playing in high school, actually not even college, we ran out to a lot of Rocky.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So it gives me that feel good anytime I hear it.
Right. So a guy named, are you familiar with David Goggins? He's like this crazy endurance athlete. Unreal. You need to watch. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But he's actually the world pull-up champion. And he set the record while listening to nothing but Eye of the Tiger.
Really?
Well, he trained.
Nice.
He trained to that song. So therefore, like, it just kind of got ingrained in his psyche. So when he went to do the competition, he just put that song on repeat and just
I feel like
through it.
Anybody that's played sports, something
and
about
the movie.
It. Yeah, and seen the movie. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so one of the reasons I want to have you on today, other than you're just an amazing person and you're just a go-getter and you're always full of life, is you have an amazing business, a CrossFit gym. And I want to talk to you about that because I think a lot of people that are listening, they're into health and fitness. They're into improving themselves. I mean, that's the whole Biohacked Life philosophy, is living up to your human potential. So one of the questions I want to ask you is, what is something that you do at Portside to bring in new members? Like, what do you do to attract people into that lifestyle?
I think what we do is we talk about it. We talk about health. We talk about nutrition. We talk about wellness. I mean, it's not always about, my 68-year-old mother who can deadlift 200-something pounds. Right?
By the way, guys, I love watching her mom deadlift. Yeah. It's amazing. And doing pull-ups.
She's 4'10" and a half and strong. And
a little fireball.
But yeah, I don't, we talk a lot about nutrition, which is hugely important.
Right.
And then we talk a lot about, how we can help people. And I think more than anything, that's what's so important about what we do, is we're not just a CrossFit gym. We're in it to help people succeed, help them get stronger, help them get healthier for a lifespan.
Right.
So it's not just in that moment of, hey, I just clean 185 for the first time or whatever.
And how do you, like, in your branding, how do you get that message across to people?
Probably, we blog post. I do a lot of Facebook. And again, just getting word out, and affinity marketing, talking to members, having them, who can we help, that touches them mostly, Right. So just, stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. 'Cause I think, so many people And let's touch on this for a second. So many people, especially in kind of the CrossFit community, those boxes scare people.
Oh yeah.
Especially, they're seeing people deadlift, power clean, overhead snatch. Like they're seeing people doing these compound powerlifting movements, and that's intimidating. How do you break down that barrier?
So we do a one-on-one intro session, and I think that has been huge for us because somebody on the outside coming in, they go, I can't do that.
Right. I mean, that's what most people would look at CrossFit and say.
Yeah. Or for women, I don't want to get big and bulky,
we'll touch on that in a minute.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So we do a one-on-one intro, and they come in. They don't even work out. We talk to them for about 20 minutes. We talk to them about them, their goals. They do a lot of the talking, and we're there to listen.
Right.
And then we're there to guide them to the best option. It could be personal training. It could be group CrossFit. It could be just strictly our nutrition program. We also do 6-week journeys. So with those, then they get nutrition included. So right off the bat, they've got fitness and nutrition. And that can either be personal training or group CrossFit. So I think when they come in the doors and they either talk to myself or any of the coaches, they get a whole lot better understanding of, this isn't that scary.
Yeah.
And everybody has a first day. Everybody.
Oh, absolutely we do.
Yeah.
Especially like even me and you, like when we like have a little time off and get back in the gym, like, oh crap, man, this is gonna be terrible.
Oh yeah.
I just thought of a question that I think is really interesting. When it comes to CrossFit, one of the concepts I love the most about CrossFit is the tribe mentality. Like you're there with a group of people, you're forming a tribe, you're all working together to get better. So do you find that people have better results in the one-on-one personal training or in that tribe competitive atmosphere?
I think it depends on the person, honestly. I think that in a personal training situation, we program tailored to that person. Right. So what you may come in for would be completely different from what David comes in for. So with that, we can definitely tailor to exactly what you want. In the group setting, you're getting, total fitness. Yeah. But nothing is necessarily personalized just to you. And you don't even have to be a crazy competitive person to see the results. Exactly. You just have to work hard for what that is for you. And for somebody, it could be, a 35-pound deadlift. And for somebody else, it might be 225. Right. Same stimulus. So I think it just depends on the person and what they want.
Right. Their individual goals.
Yep.
All right. So another one of the big stigmas around CrossFit is injuries. Everybody that does CrossFit gets hurt. Everybody that does CrossFit, they always wreck their body. Yeah. What does CrossFit Portside, what do you teach to alleviate that, to get around that, to make sure that that's not a part of your box?
Yeah. We talk a lot about, number one, we teach form. And that's huge.
Which, thank you, by the way.
Yeah. And then we talk a lot about, is there overuse in anything you do? Yes. But we also teach them, you're not going to move on from here until you've accomplished this. So it helps prevent injury. Now, you probably see a lot more injury in runners, in people that work, lifting things constantly.
Those repetitive stress injuries.
Yeah. And so, it gets a bad rap, but the injuries and the if you go do some research or if there's studies, it's a less in CrossFit.
It is.
Right.
Especially when you have good instructors that are actually teaching form. Right. And let's get your form down, and then we'll add weight to that form.
Right. Or, the biggest thing is like kipping pull-ups.
Which I think is the funniest thing in the world, but go ahead.
But we want you to get 1 to 2 strict before you really even kip.
Gotcha.
So, at least then that shows that you have the strength
Right.
and the muscles that you need it.
You're not just flailing around like
You're
a butterfly.
not just flailing around. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you know, a lot of people, it's, I want this, I want this, I want this. And early on when I started, that's kind of how even I did. You know, I was just coming out of playing, coaching. It was like that, you know, and now that I'm 36, it's like, you know, let's be healthy. Let's teach people the right way. Let's keep people. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go. Since you brought this up,
That's a big tangent.
It is. Oh, it's an absolute, especially with me too. I'm like, with all the boot camps and hey, let's lose 100 pounds this month. Like, no,
it's crazy.
It is. But that's what people want. They want that magic pill, that magic something that's going to help them achieve all their wildest dreams in the next month. And I have to tell people like, hey, it's going to take you just as long to walk out of the woods as it took you to walk in.
Yep.
It's a process. So let's go ahead and tackle this. I love this subject, and it sends my blood boiling when I hear it. When like women say, "I just want to tone."
Oh yeah. Like, what does that mean?
That's exact. I always ask them that. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that word?
What does
tone?
that look like?
You want to see muscles, right? Like that's what that means. You want to like have a good shape, tone. Like I don't understand. Like what is your real goal here? And you know the thing you always hear in CrossFit with women is, I don't want to get bulky.
Yeah.
I don't want to look like a man. Please address that.
Yeah. Yeah. So we as women don't even have enough testosterone in our bodies to get us.
Thank you.
Yeah. To that look. You know, when people see the CrossFit Games, that is 1% or less than 1% of the CrossFit population.
It is.
And it's a lot. I take a lot, or I put a lot back or compare it to college athletics and professional athletics. And 1% of college athletes go pro.
Right.
So it's a whole different ball game for those kind of people. They're training multiple times a day. You know, they're supplementing.
Nutrition,
perfect.
Can we touch on that real fast? Do you think the CrossFit Games athletes are juicing?
You know, I think that the top ones are not. I mean, I really can't say 100%. Do I think they may get to a point and then tailor off on something? Possibly. I mean, but can you get that fit? Yeah, Rich Froning.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, he's, you know.
You don't think he is?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No way. He's just a freak in nature.
There's a lot of freaks in nature out there in this world.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you, even, you know, I'm more into the bodybuilding world. You see these guys that they compete in natural bodybuilding. They have to do a lie detector test and a blood test to prove they're not on steroids to be able to step on stage. And you look at their physiques and you're like, how in the world do they look like that naturally? And genetics are a thing. Like some people are just absolutely blessed with genetics. For instance, I don't have a skinny genetic in my body. Like it's just not in me. I'm naturally predisposed to gain weight. Now that I can gain muscle easily, but I also gain fat just as much.
Yeah.
What do you tell people when they say, you know, this is just the way I am, I'm big boned, or, you know, the genetic?
Yeah, I've actually, it's funny, I've got one right now that has said that for a long time.
Right.
Has paid attention to nutrition and had kind of quit lifting heavy weights and anyway, started paying attention to nutrition, and all of a sudden is, you know, shrinking.
Right.
Eating more, eating every 3 hours, lifting heavy.
Yes.
And has started to, you know, go from, oh, I'm just built like this to, oh, okay, this stuff works.
Oh, you're big boned? Please show me the x-ray.
Right.
Please show me the x-ray where your bones are that much bigger than mine.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, it's definitely an interesting topic, and women especially are probably not the hardest to get through, but their mindset has to change slowly.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're, you know, women have been taught for so long, you know, eat like a bird, do your cardio, and you can always tell the cardio queens.
Oh yeah.
So absolutely, we need to talk about that. What are the benefits to women lifting heavy weights?
Well, I mean, number one, you're gonna build muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And what's the benefit of that?
Well, strong bones, strong ligaments, a lifetime of holding your body together, really, and being able to do the things that you want to do. I've got a class that's, the average age is 55.
I love that, by the way.
Yeah. It's all women. It's my 7:30 class, and I have a 28-year-old in it that I tell her she's going to be in charge of their granny pods when they get them. But, when they first come in, it's like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And, they probably thought, oh, I've been lugging groceries, I've been picking up kids, But then they get in a situation where we get into a squat and where they can't lunge and get off the ground. It's a whole different ball game. And to be able to see people go from nothing to squatting, and getting out of a squat, and it's like they have no idea that they're weak. They really don't until they walk through the doors and start doing stuff. So, it's super important for women. Super important.
It absolutely is. And, one of my big things that I teach my clients, especially ones that aren't lifting weights, and my big pitch to them to why they should lift weights is you have to function in life.
Oh, yeah.
From something as simple as opening a jar to getting it in and up out of the chair.
And to sitting, getting off the toilet.
Right. I know. Without having to use the counter.
Yeah. Getting in the tub. I go from one extreme to a mother who's fit to a father who's, got neuropathy and struggles a little bit. I see it. Even on the male side. But,
oh, yeah.
At 70, what do you want to be doing?
Right. Do you want to be too weak to even get out of your chair and all you can do is watch TV?
My mom's about to have, my brother's having a 5th child, by the way.
Good gracious.
A girl. 4 boys and a girl.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So, what does she want to be able to do with them?
Right.
She's 68, and has 4 boys. She wants to chase them around.
Exactly.
There's tons of women out there that I'm sure want to do that. How do they get to that point?
It goes to quality of life.
Yeah.
It really does. Like being able to function through your muscles, through your body, and do things in life, it gives you a quality of life.
Oh, yeah.
That, I'm sorry, running 30 minutes on a treadmill will not give you.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't. And I ran my first marathon.
How was that? It was a marathon.
Yeah. 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 I ran it.
Yeah.
I ran it. And props to anybody that can do that, because it was
mental fortitude.
It was very challenging and very mental. But I can tell you, after that, I was like, I don't want to train. It was so long, so many long runs by myself, and but anyway, props to anybody that does that, and they have some strong mental fortitude.
They do. Some of them are like what I've seen with a lot of marathon runners is almost like a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
Like they enjoy the pain.
Yeah. And they say that about CrossFit, but it's 1 hour.
Yeah. CrossFit's it's tough, but it's just like a short burst.
Right.
It's not, hey, let's go run 20 miles today and spend half our day just running.
Yeah, the recovery was crazy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I had to dial in nutrition, and it was nuts. But I did it. I was happy I did it.
Oh, man, it's a feat. Yeah. Just like when I competed in my bodybuilding competition, just like running a marathon, it's completely unhealthy. It's not good for your body.
Yeah.
And I did it more of a mental challenge than a physical challenge. Like I know I can push my body hard from playing athletics.
Sure.
You and I both know that if we set our mind to something, we can 100% push our body that far. It's just mentally being able to do it for that long.
Right.
Because just like in running a marathon, or really like if you're competing at the high level, CrossFit, bodybuilding, anything like that, every choice you make shows up on contest day.
Oh, no doubt.
Like when you're running a marathon, if you have a cheat day of food or you don't eat enough food to recover, it's going to show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with bodybuilding, it's the only sport that I can think of where every decision you make shows up on stage.
Yeah.
If you don't get enough sleep, it's going to show up. If you eat too much, it's going to show up. Like all that's going to show up on stage.
Yeah.
So that mental fortitude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But getting back to it. So one of the big questions I wanted to ask you that I I find is the biggest problem with most people in health and fitness when they're wanting to attain a goal is it's very easy to get motivated initially to start. What are some tools, techniques, tips you can give people to get past that bell curve of motivation and actually stick to it and finish?
Right. Yeah. The biggest thing is it's even with our nutrition, you can lose a large amount quick. Not quick, but it's like in a deadlift too. You could hit a big deadlift and then it's hard to increase,
right?
Each month. The biggest thing is, set attainable goals. Okay. Have a long-term goal, but set some small ones as well. Have some accountability, have somebody that you're accountable to, whether that's a coach or another, member or another, person who's running with you, or, have goal review sessions.
That's like another piece of accountability.
Huge. Yeah. Yep. But there's take a rest week. You're going. You've done this much success, right? And then you're like, well, I can do that the next month. Let me go just as hard.
Yeah.
Your body needs rest so that you can keep going.
Right. Almost prevents burnout too.
And it does. Yeah. But it's hard because I tell people, hey, take a few days off, take a week off. It's not going to hurt you, but people, they need that high, or they need that, oh, I got to come do it. I got to, burn this steam off or burn that steam off, or, oh, I'm not going to get my first whatever if I'm not here working on it. So yeah, I mean, time off does help, and I'm not saying take a month, but a week, few days. But yeah, I mean, as far as that getting over that curve, it's the biggest thing I think is having somebody that you're accountable to. That's huge because it's easy to succeed and then say nothing's happening. You're just like, screw it, doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that. Because I know I have this with my clients too. They have those days where it just, let's be honest, they feel like they suck at life. They feel like a failure. They feel like, well, they had that cheeseburger. Now like their whole mission of becoming healthy and fit is done.
Yeah.
It's no more. How do you get them past that?
Yeah. So you had the hamburger, leave it at that. Pick up the next meal, right back on track.
Right.
Like 80-20. And that's our huge nutrition preach, is 80-20. And we talk about, it is okay. Like that's what happens with the 30-day things. They go so strict for so long.
Yeah.
And then 30 days is up. I saw success, 10 pounds of success, whatever. And then it's like, let me have an Oreo. I eat a sleeve of Oreos.
Yes. Yes.
I've eaten a pack of Oreos. I've had popcorn every night. That just all of a sudden now you steamroll in the other direction, and there's no balance. And then what do? You go back into a 30-day binge.
Exactly.
And then so now you're on the
roller coaster. It's so much fun though.
Yeah,
everyone does it. I've got a client I'm working with right now, and we've got like a huge goal. It's probably the biggest goal I've ever had with a client as far as amount of weight he wants to lose. And when we first got started, he was a product of that.
Yeah.
He would start a diet and he would go hard in the paint. I'm talking like 2 hours a day of working out, cardio, cut out all carbs, all taste, all flavor, all everything, eating like chicken broccoli 3 times a day. And he's a big guy. I mean, it's a big weight loss goal, and he's eating like 1,500 calories a day, working out 2 hours a day. I'm like, hey, bro, there's a reason you keep rebounding.
Yeah.
That is unsustainable. Even now, like we're working and we got his calories relatively high for most people. For him, it's not high, but for most people, I mean, it's a lot more calories than I would eat in a day. Yeah. But he's like, bro, do you think this is too high? I'm like, no. Because if we go anything lower than that, we're going to crash your metabolism, and then you're just going to have a rebound effect. I was watching a documentary this morning on, just talking about their opinion of why people are obese, and it was an endocrinologist on there talking about the hunger hormones. And as someone who has been on a big weight loss journey, when you lose all that weight, those hormones are just through the roof because it's your survival mechanism kicking in. I used to be this big, now I'm this big. I'm dying is what your body thinks. So it's sending those hunger hormones through the roof.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how much harder it is for someone who's lost a lot of weight, like how much hungrier they actually are from their hormones. It's not just like I'm a hungry kind of thing. No, it's like my hormones are driving me crazy because I'm that hungry right now because your body's in survival mode.
Yeah.
So what part, I've noticed here in the last couple of months, you've been on a huge nutrition kick, which is something that I've always laughed about CrossFit boxes because y'all have like this phenomenal workout where y'all have absolutely like kicked butt and everybody's drenched in sweat, dying. And then you're eating pizza and beer. You know, and it's the CrossFit parties or you drink 3 bottles of wine or whatever it may be. But now I'm seeing you're doing a big nutrition kick inside of your business. What difference has that made inside your business?
Oh, it's been huge because we're helping people.
Right.
You know, I mean, we're teaching them the correct way to eat, what their body needs. And it could start as simple as the plate method, where
tell people what that is.
Half the plate, like if you're just looking at a plate, half the plate is veggies. A fourth of the plate is some kind of lean protein. And then a fourth of the plate is some kind of starch.
Right.
Or non-starchy carbohydrate. You know, sweet potato, brown rice, something like that. So, I mean, if you're looking at changing something, you know, start with that. It's probably the easiest thing to do. It's visual and you can easily see it.
Do I use the color-coded plates?
No, we do have the three compartment containers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when somebody comes in for a nutrition consult or signs up for our nutrition program, we'll give them some three compartment containers and maybe a scale depending on what they sign up for. Because people don't know, you know, what they eat.
No.
They don't know servings. They don't know
Let somebody
size.
start tracking calories and watch their mind get blown.
Yeah. It's crazy. And, you know, 1,500 calories can look so different. The amount of food here that's loaded with, you know, whole foods and good veggies and all that compared to 1,500 over here.
The nutrient dense food versus the calorie dense food.
It is so different. And so a lot of times, you know, again, they look at these customized meal plans and it's like, I'm supposed to eat all that?
I love hearing that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, you are actually.
I'm like, yes. And when you get into a habit of that, you're going to feel hungry and you're going to lose weight. So every 3 hours, your body's going to say, it's time to eat. And I mean, I had a lady yesterday tell me, she said, Sarah, I've lost another 3 pounds. And I said, you have? And she's like, we upped my calories. And I'm like, yeah. And she's lost 3 pounds. And I said, well, let's, you know, make an appointment with Melinda. Let's get you back on the InBody machine so we can even see what's going on. See what's happening. You know, if she's losing muscle and fat, you know, or just losing fat. And she said, I've tried 1,000,000 times to lose weight. And she said, I have never lost weight like I have here, you know, and I'm eating a lot of food.
Right. Do you contribute that to like her just eating more nutrient dense food?
A combination of it all. I mean, paying attention, eating the snacks, having a post-wide shake to replenish her muscle. That's huge.
That's a post-workout shake for
post-workout shake.
non-CrossFitters out there.
Yeah. And I mean, that's huge just to make sure that, you know, you're keeping the muscle, because you do. When you're lifting weights, you're breaking down muscle.
100%.
And
that's the whole point of lifting weights.
Right.
Tear those muscle fibers.
You're tearing them.
That's how you become stronger.
Right. So we want to make sure we're keeping that and burning the fat.
All right. So one of the questions I always get asked when I do like nutrition coaching, or just, it's one of those questions that I kind of laugh at now, but everybody always asks, like, how many meals a day should I be eating?
Yeah.
Like what from your opinion, what you've seen with your clients, like what do you see with that?
We do, we do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but we also do 2 snacks. So every 3 hours they're getting something. They're not counting their post-workout shake for anything towards their meal plan because it's kind of set. It's basic. Like they need it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we, and the snacks aren't just a little handful of nuts. It could be turkey roll-ups, that's got avocado in it. It could be an apple, an egg, and a tablespoon of almond butter or something. So it's enough, to keep that metabolism going and to keep you, because you're hungry well before your stomach starts growling.
Right.
So you should be feeding your body, and people, they just wait too long. I had another guy yesterday. He's like, I've been working on him for about 5 years, and he's finally come around. But
yeah,
I said, tell me your day, and so it's black coffee. And then when I remember, I have a morning shake. I said, okay, well, what time is that? 3 days last week, it was 4 p.m.
Oh, his morning shake was at 4 p.m.?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, it's those things that, I just got busy.
Did you?
Yeah.
You got too busy drinking a shake.
So, that's where the mindset has to change.
Right.
And, and that's what we do more than anything is hold them accountable and make sure they're staying, so that they learn. And at some point, this is a lifestyle.
It is.
And they may not need us,
right.
for the accountability of it.
And that's what I tell people, like, the greatest gift I can give you is you not needing me.
Oh, yeah.
For you to take what I've taught you and internalize it, turn it into a lifestyle, turn it into a habit, and then say, hey, Robby, dude, I'm good. Like, I got this now.
Yeah.
That's like the greatest compliment we can get.
Yeah. And when somebody says, I got this, you're like, yeah, they got it.
Right.
And then the ones that say, I'm going to do this on my own. And you're like, okay.
Good luck.
I'll see you back.
Right.
Because you absolutely know the ones that get it. And they know.
Right.
And, we even had another lady that said, God, I'm making stuff for my family now. That's awesome.
Oh, let's talk about that for a second, because I'm sure you hear that as much as I do. When someone starts a health journey and their spouse is not on board, their kids still want all the unhealthy snacks and the Oreos, Little Debbie's, all that kind of stuff. What do you how do you help that person overcome that when they're in a family that's unsupportive of their new goal?
Yeah, that's tough, because
really tough.
They need that support system.
Like the probability of them succeeding goes through the roof when their family's on board.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the probability of actual support of family members is not very high.
Yeah. And it's hard. Like, I think one of the biggest things is we may try to meet with the spouse, or
okay.
Because at the end of the day, like, when my mom's telling my dad something, it's like, right. It's like I get it all the time. And when somebody else on the outside may say something, it's like he'll listen or get it. Which is, it's totally weird after 40 years of marriage, but
right. People don't listen to those that are close to them.
They don't.
Third-party validation is magical.
So if you can get a hold of the person that is going to be that support system, and, they may not want to change, but if you can help change their mindset on, okay, well, if you're going to do this, at least do this for this person, and try to get to where it's not like, well, I'm not doing this. I'm ordering pizza. You do whatever, and so I think that's the biggest thing. The kids, in my opinion, whatever you make, they're going to eat.
See, I keep saying that. And I tell parents, like, kids aren't going to starve.
No. When they're hungry,
they're going to eat.
They're going to eat.
It's a personal willpower battle. Who's going to give in first? Is the parent going to give in, or is the kid going to give in?
Parents give in.
Parents give in way more than the kids do. Like, why is your kid more committed to this than you are? You should be doing this for your kids and for yourself. Yet the parent will make something healthy and the kid's like, I'm not eating that.
Yeah.
And then instead of saying, all right, well, when you get hungry, you will.
Yeah.
The parent's like, oh, well.
What do you want?
Yeah, let me get you something else. Let me go put some chicken nuggets in the oven.
Yeah. Yeah.
So have you helped parents like get their kids healthy?
We haven't really had. I'm trying to think. Melinda does most of the nutrition coaching. Yeah. I don't know that we've had a ton of parents that have had like young kids. But we have had like husbands and wives. Yeah.
Which is great.
Which is great. But I think the biggest thing with kids, is how creatively to get them to eat, like, say, veggies,
So one of the stupidest research articles I ever looked at was the headline of this research article said, kids will eat more vegetables that use flavors. Like, really, if you put like garlic and butter on vegetables, they'll eat them more? Like, wow. But one of the actual articles I read that was promoting health in kids, like how to get them to actually eat healthy, is get them involved in the cooking and preparation process. They're more likely to eat something that they actually had their hands on.
That's
making.
True. Yeah, we did. We did do a nutrition seminar. Now that I'm thinking back, and we talked about that. We talked about get them involved any way that you can.
Right.
Because then, like you said, if they're helping do it, they're more likely to go.
And most kids don't even know where food comes from.
No.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Food comes from those golden arches. Like, that's where it comes from. Like, and it comes from this box. Like, no, actually it comes from the ground and it's grown and farmers have to produce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our world. Don't you love it? So what is like a big tip you can give people that they have this like burning desire to get healthy, yet they're scared to start. They don't know where to start. They just think like their goal is too big to accomplish. How do you get someone past that hump?
We take it one day at a time. It's not a 1 to 10 process super fast.
Right.
The goal is just start. Just take one step forward and just do it.
Set those micro goals.
And then again, from a scale to 1 to 10, how motivated are you?
Yeah.
Like, if you're true to yourself and you say, I'm a 10, then, what's going to hold you back?
Right. A fun question is always get people to answer, like, I would be healthy, but.
Oh, yeah, but.
What's the but?
Yeah. I just read something in a mentor group I'm in that basically took the but and put and, and it's all that, well, I'm going to start, but, I thought about doing this, but I don't want to give this up, but, it's all the buts and all the in the back of your head and people that have gone on this journey with us has seen such awesome progress, and it's not, and that's what we try to preach, like, it's not that 30 pounds and you're not seeing these huge crazy numbers, because guess what, a pound a week, a pound of or 1% body fat a month is what you should lose safely.
Exactly.
Safely.
Well, I tell people all the time.
Sustain.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, like, Robby, how did you lose 105 pounds in a year? Well, 2 pounds a week.
Right.
And it ain't rocket science. I made that my goal is 2 pounds a week. And it's a little more aggressive. But then again, I was over 100 pounds overweight.
You had it to lose.
I definitely had to lose. I wasn't a 115 pound bikini model trying to lose 20 pounds.
Right.
It's a lot harder at that point.
Did you over exercise
during that time?
Yeah.
Now, my problem was this. When I finished playing football I, of course, had double knee surgery.
Right.
My body was wrecked from football, and I knew nothing about diet and nutrition.
Right.
And I hate saying this because she's such a nice lady, but our nutritionist at Southern Miss was like 330 pounds.
Yeah.
And she
Isn't
was
that
not
crazy?
healthy.
That's crazy to me.
Oh, hold on. It gets worse. So the night before the games, we were eating fried Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let's eat some deep fried chicken the night before a college football game, and they'd wonder why we were cramping. The day before the game, we're eating like creamed corn. I'm not talking about like normal cream corn. We're talking about like, cream cheese corn. Yeah. It's just like our nutrition in college was horrendous.
Yeah.
So the only thing I ever knew about nutrition was eat as much as possible of whatever you can to get the calories in.
Right.
So when I started my journey, I had no clue what I was doing. I just thought, if I eat less and I work out every day, I'm going to lose weight.
Right.
Which at the end of the day, yes, if you eat less and work out, you will lose weight. But I had no clue about macros, micros, nothing. So I lost 105 pounds in a year. But the two negative effects of what happened there was, one, I looked sickly.
Right.
Like I just I didn't look healthy at all because I wasn't getting in the micronutrients. I had no clue about vitamins. That.
Yeah.
Second thing, and probably the biggest thing for me, was I destroyed my metabolism in the process.
People don't get that either.
They don't. For me right now, okay, so I'm 220 pounds. And I work out at least an hour a day, if not an hour and a half of like intense working out. My resting metabolic rate should be at least 3,000 calories, at least.
Yeah.
Right now, my resting metabolic rate's around 2,300 calories. Yeah. And I had to rebuild to that point. It got as low as 2,000 calories. I was, 215 pounds, 220 pounds, working out like a madman. And my body became so efficient.
Oh, yeah.
I could get by my basic metabolic rate to keep me at that weight was 2,000 calories.
Yeah.
I had to drop below that if I wanted to lose weight.
God, it's crazy.
People don't understand that. And that's why, like, when they say I'm going to this boot camp or I'm going to this, 30-day challenge, I'm like, please don't. Like, you don't want to end up in the same boat as me. When I do like the calculators online, it tells me, like, one of them, if it fits your macros calculator online, said my macros should be between 33 to 3,500. I'm like, ooh, that would be nice.
Yeah.
If I had an extra 1,000 calories to play with every day,
that'd be fun.
That would be magical.
Yeah.
But it's just not the case.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I think what happens is, though, it works.
Oh, it absolutely does.
It works
in the short term.
And what we're seeing, for example, we had another lady that's been doing the nutrition. Her workouts have been good and had a pretty rough weekend. Had pizza and some beer on Friday night, and it kind of came back. Must have been Monday. I mean, horrible workout. Oh, yeah. Like, you could see everything about it. And, we had that chat with her, and it's like, when you've taken care of your body, you feel so different in a workout situation, and you're not just pale and, there's just that malnourishment and over exercising that, and I went through a point in time at Ole Miss that I feel like I probably over exercised and didn't feel my body. And I was skinny. Yeah. I was skinny.
People used to ask me, like, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, is something wrong? Like, did you get sick or something?
I was like 18 or something. And for me, I mean,
I got this athlete.
Booty and thighs that weigh, right now I'm about 147 and I'm lifting heavy.
Yeah.
So take 30 pounds, it was just crazy, but it happens, and you get into this cycle, and how do you get out? Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing.
It's terrible. And a lot of people, I'm glad we're talking about this, because this is one of my biggest pet peeves with people. Like, I've had girls come to me and, hey, I need to lose like 20, 30 pounds. I'm like, okay, well, let's see where your metabolic rate's at. Let's see how many calories you're taking in a day. Let's see how much you're working out. I've had some come to me. Yes, they need to lose about 30, 40 pounds to get to the ideal body weight. their resting metabolic rate's around 1,200 calories a day, and they're working out like 2 hours a day.
Right.
I'm like, okay. So you're going to get really mad at me about what I'm about to say. Is we've got to rebuild your metabolism and get you healthy before we can go on this journey, because there's no way I'm going to drop you to 1,000 calories a day and keep you working out 2 hours, because at that point, let's be honest, you're not getting enough nutrients. Your body is totally being deprived of vitamins, minerals, and all the things it needs to survive.
Yep.
You're taking in just enough calories to survive, and your body, like, you're literally shortening your life by doing that. The goal, like, there's a lot of contradicting studies. I mean, there's actually new studies out now that says, you know, you want your body to be as efficient calorie-wise as possible because that leads to longevity. But I would rather, like, if I'm eating right, I would rather go through life eating the most amount of calories possible to be healthy. Because
100% agree.
I'm getting, like, the avocado, the vegetables, the olive oil, the healthy proteins. Like, I'm getting everything I need. My body needs to fuel itself.
Yeah.
And I'm actually taking in enough nutrients at that point.
Right.
But yeah, I can't stand when I see somebody conforming to what society tells them they should do, and they completely wreck their body in the process.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating. The other thing too with males and females is the scale becomes so important for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's all that matters.
Yeah, and that's why I like having the InBody, because your scale at home and this scale is totally different. Because
so, guys, for you listening, the InBody machine, it's a body fat. It measures your body fat, and it gives you water, body mass,
skeletal muscle,
all of that.
Yeah. So when when I get on a scale at home, it's 147. It's gonna look this way, and then you get on a scale at 147, and this person looks totally different from what somebody 147 looks like. So muscle weighs more than fat.
It does.
So if can you lose weight, gain muscle, and drop fat? Yes.
Yeah.
But the number on the scale isn't going to go down as much when muscle's going this way and fat's going that way.
Right. Can you say that again for people? Because I don't think that a lot of people understand that.
They don't get it. So
the number on the scale.
The number on the scale.
Yeah, it's not going to, like, sometimes when you're starting this journey, it's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
But I tell people all the time, like, I had a young girl, she was 17 years old. She asked me last week, she goes, how much should I weigh? And my normal answer, I couldn't say to her because she's underage.
Yeah.
But with my adult clients, what I always tell them is the number on the scale doesn't matter. It's when you get out of the shower and you look at yourself naked in the mirror. If you're happy with the way you look, like, that's what's important.
Oh, yeah.
It's you having that confidence in that person. That's all that matters in the day.
And how your clothes fit.
Exactly. Like, if you're comfortable in your clothes.
Yeah.
I had a really prominent businessman I was working with, and he's uber successful, but he literally told me that he would cancel meetings sometimes because he didn't feel comfortable in his clothes.
I can see. I mean, I can see it.
He's like, bro, I'm having to wear like these big puffy shirts that make me look even bigger because I don't want like my rolls showing. And he said, I would literally cancel meetings if I didn't feel comfortable in the clothes I was wearing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was powerful because women think that's a women only issue.
It's totally not.
No.
Totally not. Yeah. I mean, men, although you hear it a lot from women, men have a huge issue.
They do.
Huge.
Or just as insecure.
And I mean, it's, again, I don't know when those tides turn, if just social media, and
it's always been the case.
Yeah. And
the male
probably
ego,
has. Yeah.
The damaged male ego. I mean, look throughout history how many times that's
true. That's true.
Destroyed literally civilizations.
But I mean, it's not just a women's issue.
No,
same thing. It's men too.
I actually have, like, when a woman's talking to me and she's like, it's so much harder for a female to lose weight. It's so much harder for a female to do this. And, it's just a woman problem. I'm like, as someone who's been through it, it's not.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your excuse, but we got to stop thinking like that.
Yeah.
And like, you see this, it's just as hard for males to lose weight as it is females. The only difference is, a male is normally bigger. So his percent, he's got more weight to lose.
Yeah.
So of course he's going to lose more body weight. He's got 100 pounds to lose versus you, a female, has got 50 pounds to lose.
Right.
So of course there's going to be disparity in numbers there, but there is no genetic difference. I mean, yes, we have hormone differences and we have certain differences, and men can put on muscles or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's not as like great as like this battle of sexes. Everybody portrays it to be.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. I love this. I love getting these real issues that people talk about. What's the biggest excuse you hear from people?
Oh, about fitness or
about just getting healthy?
Busy.
I
think, I don't have time.
What's your answer to that?
You can make time. There's always time.
I agree.
What are you doing? Let's break down your day.
Right. Let's get out the schedule.
Let's break down one of my mentors said, Sarah, write down everything you do every 15 minutes. And then you look and you go,
that's scary to do that, by the way.
It's awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. I mean, I got a desk finally at my house, and when I'm at my desk, I feel like it's work time. But you can write, when you write down, you go, how many times have I done this?
Right.
Or how something's popped up.
An iPhone now has a
you can
tracker
look,
to see how much time you're
spending on
social media.
Yep. And it's crazy because being a business owner, it's different. Like, I feel like I need to be on it. I need to make sure I'm doing, these things. I mean,
that's how we flourish as a business right now, social media.
Will that eventually stop? It's getting flooded. It'll be interesting.
It is. I agree. I think it's going to be, finding your niche in content, which is why I love podcasting. I love having these types of conversations. So yeah, the busy thing, like, it doesn't make sense. Even somebody that works, okay, let's just say you're at a job for 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
You're sitting at a desk 12 hours a day. If you really look at what you're doing during those 12 hours, you're not working 12 hours.
No.
Like, it's almost impossible for you to be grinding 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. There's going to be like...
why are we? Because we have to be at work from this time to this time?
Right. That's what,
I mean, yeah.
So I tell people, I'm like, look, if you have to be at work 12 hours, there's going to be a few 5 to 10 minute breaks in there that, oh, by the way, you have to take.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, smokers get breaks. Why can't you get a break too?
Yeah.
If not, you can just sue them for, inequality. But you can find some time in there to just do some body weight squats.
Oh, yeah.
Do some push-ups at your desk. Yeah. There's time in there. I have one of my friends, she actually bought one of those Bosu ball chairs to put at her desk.
Yeah.
And,
that's huge.
Yeah. And now she can like do sit-ups, she can do push-ups, she can do a lot of different stuff at her desk while she's working. I used to, put my laptop on my treadmill and, do what I do there. Yeah. But yeah, like the busy excuse, it bothers me because, hey, stop watching House of Cards. Get up 10 minutes earlier. I'm sorry to ruin. You say you're only sleeping 5 hours a night. Well, now you need to sleep 4 hours and 15 minutes. Like, if it's that much of a priority to you, that 10 minutes of less sleep you're getting in the grand scheme of things is not going to make that big of a difference. It's not like you're losing 2 hours of sleep, but just get up 10 minutes earlier and freaking do jumping jacks. Like, I don't care what it is. Do something. Take your dog for a walk.
Yeah.
Oh,
get up.
Busy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we now have a 5:30 a.m. CrossFit. So I moved it back 30 minutes so people could not feel rushed to go to work.
Right.
Like, the difference in getting up for 5 a.m. and 5:30 is totally different.
It is. I mean, it's not, but it's psychologically different.
It's psychologically different. Yeah. But anybody that goes in the morning, people say this to me all the time. I'm not a morning person. What does that mean? I'm not an afternoon person. Like, I never hear people say that. Psychologically, you've told
yourself you're not a morning person.
You're not a morning person.
It's a story you've told yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not a morning person either, but now if I sleep till 7 o'clock, I'm waking up late.
Yeah.
I love getting up early now, even though traditionally I'm not a morning person, but I've made myself get in that routine.
Yeah. I mean, I like mornings.
I hate mornings. It takes me a minute. Like, even though I wake up early, it takes me a minute to get going. Yeah. But once I'm going, I'm fine. Yeah. It's that just getting out of bed. I think that's everybody though.
Once you 100%. Get into a routine of it, that's what I say. Like, I'm even doing a group. I don't normally do this, but I'm doing a group, beginner group CrossFit course for 2 weeks, starting November 5th, and it's at 5:30 a.m. Get up, make it happen. You know, I mean, it's once you're in that routine, you will be so happy because what happens is somebody's got a meeting that they didn't know they had, or, you know, they get off work and guess what? They've got baseball and soccer and something comes up and they can't get to the gym.
Right.
So when it's done in the day, in the morning, you don't even worry about having to get it in because you've gotten it.
See, because of like all my sports injuries and everything, I get a better workout in the afternoon.
Right.
I feel like I'm awake. My body feels better. My joints are more loose in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But just like exactly what you just said, there's always a meeting come up or a phone call or something that throws me off track.
Yeah.
So while I get a more intense workout in the afternoon, I'm more consistent when I go in the morning.
And I agree with you on how, you know, warmed up you necessarily are because you're rolling out of bed. And I've always felt stronger in the afternoon. Like my cardio feels different and better in the morning.
Yeah, I agree there.
But it's getting into that routine and, you know, finding that, okay, maybe I'm going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or maybe I'm just going to start Monday, Wednesday, you know, and do 2. And then all of a sudden your body's getting up and then you're probably a little bit more tired at night and you're not staying up eating
those late night snacks.
Right. And watching, I mean, Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu will toast people because you keep watching.
I'll be completely honest here. The reason, and this is vulnerability, the reason I started getting up as early as I do, now my alarm goes off at 5:56. 56 was my football number.
Nice.
It's a great,
very nice.
Great number to get up in the morning. So the reason I get up at 5:56 every morning is so I'm more tired at night.
Yep.
And I go to bed earlier so I don't late night eat.
Yep.
That is the number one reason.
You were a night owl.
I'm 100% a night owl. Like for about a year of my life, when I was just coaching and cooking and everything like that, I didn't set an alarm. I was just one of those people like, I'm going to go to bed when I go to bed. I'm going to wake up when I wake up. And there's still going to be the same time of the day, so I'm still going to get to work.
Yeah.
I was staying up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Crazy.
And what I had to do is I just started about a month ago to alleviate the late night eating because I would eat dinner at 10 and then 5 hours later, I'm still up.
Yeah.
I get hungry.
Yeah.
It's normal. To alleviate that, I started getting up early in the morning.
Yeah.
Now when 10 o'clock starts rolling around, I'm like, okay, I'm tired.
Ready to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to bed now.
Yeah.
And I had to do that to prevent myself from late night eating.
Yeah.
It was not easy, but it's an adjustment I had to make for my health.
Yeah.
All right. We're wrapping up on an hour. What is one piece of advice you'll give to somebody that is thinking about starting a health journey?
Let us talk to you.
Right. Just open the conversation.
Open the door because something has you thinking about it.
Right.
Something has you one foot out, you know. I think that's the most important thing. Like, I'm not going to, you know, pressure you to come do CrossFit or pressure you to go run a marathon or pressure you to do this. Let's talk about it. And whatever, you know, is in your best interest, we'll help you with.
Right.
You know, or you'll help them with. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but that's where most people need to start because your physical health starts with your mental health.
Yep.
And if you're not mentally there, then we need to get you there because ultimately it is important.
Yeah.
Everybody I've ever talked to, their physical health is important to them. It's just they're not making it a priority.
Yeah.
All right. So before I ask my last question, where can people find out more about everything you're doing?
You can go to www.crossfitportside.com. You can come see us. You can schedule, like right on that front page, if you go to the website, you can schedule a free intro session or a free nutrition consult. And it's just about 20-minute conversation of how we can help you.
And always a ton of good info on all the socials at CrossFit Portside.
Yep.
Yeah. I follow you on Instagram, Facebook, always putting out good just information that people need to hear. All right. Last question. What is your definition of happiness?
Ooh. My perfect day.
Well, just your definition of happiness. Like, what does that look like to you? If you're on your deathbed and somebody asked you, like, what to you made a happy life?
Yeah, I think meaningful relationships.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
You know why I love that answer?
I mean, that's it.
Because meaningful relationships, actually now backed by science, is the number one key to longevity.
Really?
The number one key is meaningful relationships.
I think that's huge.
It's huge. Yeah. Actually, a new study, and on the opposite side of meaningful relationships, and I got to say this because it's coming up, loneliness is worse for you than smoking 14 cigarettes a day.
I believe it.
A day.
I believe it.
Loneliness is worse for you.
Wow.
That's a crazy number.
Wow. Yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. This is the Biohacked Life with Sara Carter of CrossFit Portside. We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, please like and subscribe. Support our mission to help bring you the best content possible. And if you can, as always, to support this podcast, please become a part of Rise Up Health Initiative, where we are promoting mental health in the schools. And as always, join the Facebook tribe, where we are coming together to change lives. Love you guys and have a good day.
Awesome.